Hey guys, how are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap. If you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go straight over to the charts. Well, here we have it. Look at this, guys. What a great chart. We've got Bitcoin here. Look at it going to the moon. It's such a great... Oh, wait a minute. This is XRP. So the reason we're starting the video with this joke of an asset that isn't even a cryptocurrency, it's just a database, is that just look at it. It's just a rubbish chart. Just yeah. And let's see what it's going to take for it to get back to its all-time highs. Bearing in mind Bitcoin has got to less than 2x to get to its all-time highs. We've got to go up. We've got to go up over 1,000%, 1,000, about 1,300%, 1,300% to get to its all-time highs. Anyway, the reason we're talking about this very quickly, I'm going to stop talking about it in a second, is because there's certain people out there that think this is going back to its all-time highs, just because we're going and potentially going into a bull run, but this doesn't mean this has to go to its all-time highs. This is not financial advice. Don't go buying this expecting to go to its all-time highs. And then I just want to show you Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up, you can see we've got this chart like this. If Bitcoin goes up from where it is now, 1,300%. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. The equivalent Bitcoin move would be about $150,000 per Bitcoin. Yeah, so that kind of puts in perspective the move that they think that they're going to get in XRP, just because apparently it's got to go to its all-time high, but the asset is rubbish, and the asset has got so far to get to its all-time high relative to what a better asset like Bitcoin has got to do, or let's say Link, which has basically been at its all-time highs recently. That's it really, guys. I mean, I don't like to start videos on negativity. I'm not gonna name and shame the YouTuber that's talking absolute smack about XRP and potentially encouraging other people to pump his bags of smack coins with his smack talk. But because that's all I can put it down to, guys, is that he knows, everybody knows, there's better coins to be investing your money in than XRP, and then saying, oh, it's going to go to the all-time high. Why not? Because we're going into a bull run. It's just pure madness, guys. You can't trade on those parameters. Anyway. Oh, unless he's just trying to appeal to all the XRP fans he knows that are potentially out there just to grow his channel. So a bit shady, a bit shifty, that, isn't it? Anyway, so let's go. I don't know what's up with my computer here. It's been a bit funny. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and see what is going on in our beloved Bitcoin. So yeah, we've got what is looking like a pretty convincing bull flag here. Obviously it doesn't have to break to the upside, but if this is a textbook bull flag if ever I saw one, guys. So don't rule out some upside breaks. Also, I'd like to point out we got that test basically down to our zone we were looking at. I mean, literally just perfectly out our zone. I know we didn't literally hit this bottom level, but obviously we have zones, don't we? Because zones are better than levels. I mean, just isolating an exact single level is just is asinine. So we have our zones, but here we've got a zone here. We've just basically dipped into our zone, came back up. So that's obviously good to see. I mean, we got the back test we were looking for. We got bought up pretty quick. I mean, so far as back test goes, you kind of do want to trade down there a bit and then come back up. I mean, that's literally just like a wick down, but it's incredibly bullish. People wanted to one of two things. They either wanted to get long when they could at these prices, or they took this opportunity to get out some short trades that they were trapped in, which I would propose is the more likely of those two scenarios. But anyway, so not really much though. Incidentally came off a 409, but I wouldn't read much into it. I wouldn't look at that 409 and be like, that's why we dumped down. But incidentally, we did do that dip off a 409. So but yeah, that's like what can we expect next from here? Realistically, we've tested the bottom of this zone, so are we gonna come and test the top of this zone? The only problem with that, obviously, if we break out to the top and come up here, we sort of it's sort of a continuation pattern of this flagpole. Not that this is a problem, but it just means that, I mean, how high is that going to take Bitcoin? Are we realistically breaking out to about $12,500 out of this formation right now? I mean, like I said, anything is possible, guys. I am actually expecting a bit of a retrace in the dollar anyway. So that I think is going to definitely make it more difficult, as in the dollar maybe strengthen a little bit. So that's going to make it a bit more difficult, obviously, for Bitcoin to break up. So I mean, what I have been saying, what I do think is the more likely scenario is that we just play out the lower side of this range just to fully test, just to fully probe this support as actual support. Obviously, we have come down here once already and got brought back up pretty convincingly, but I do think we've got to test this out a bit more. So that is kind of what I'm looking for. But I mean, clearly we've got a pennant here, so if we break out, you can try and catch the breakout either way. And I mean, well, to the upside, I mean, it could blast us through this level. So don't rule anything out, but I would say maybe we are going to come and test the bottom of here. That would be my guess, even though this is a bull flag, just because I feel like we've got to back test this, and we are quite overextended. We are quite overextended here at these levels anyway. Not that is a good... Obviously, the trend is your friend, but I mean, this is sort of a trend. And this is sort of a trend. This is just a vertical line straight into the sky. And that's not normally how charts behave for prolonged periods of time, at least. So we'll have a look at the 12-hour. Obviously we won't have much interesting TD wise, but we will have a TD 12-hour 9 coming up, so maybe we will get a little bit of a test up to the top of here and then come down off a TD 9 TD 9 on the 12-hour. And then obviously we've had the daily 9 here, and then this is obviously an indecision candle on this daily, and clearly we are trading higher up the candle than we are. Well, we're trading higher up than the center of the candle, so it shows that there is more buying pressure on this whole range, and we are settling above 11,000, which I'm not a massive fan of. Well, this is a triple O or double O's, but I'm not a massive fan of double O's as big psychological levels. Maybe when they first are initially traded up to or at, maybe at that point, but after that I think it's more the actual real levels of importance rather than just a level because it's 11,000. Yeah, not a lot really to read off this. I mean, it's just a case of, are we going to get more an extension to the upside? Are we even going to test higher than this candle went, or are we going to basically trade some more downside based off the fact that this was a daily 9, and we are going to see 1 to 4 days of correction. Let's have a look at what our weekly time frames. Obviously looking good still. I mean, we're still way above obviously all these wicks. Yeah, I mean, even the wicks, let alone the candle bodies, way above this one here, way above this one here. Obviously we've not closed this weekly, but even if we look at it on a daily, on the daily time frame, we haven't closed any dailies this high since wow, there you go, basically since the 13th of August. Well, yeah, 13th of August 2019. So that's a long time ago, guys. We sat at highs here. You wouldn't want to be a bear in this market. You definitely wouldn't want to be a bear in this market. Let's have a look at what those stochastics are doing. Let's go to the 4-hour. I mean, 4 hours hanging in there. It's coming for this level. I would suspect if the 4-hour Stokes maybe gets below this level here, then I think we will probably come and test more downside, well, more sustained downside, as in come and test this same level and actually stay a bit lower for a bit. That's what I think would happen. But obviously if we get picked up by this line, and then yeah, just more upside, 10-hour Stokes pointing back upwards again, daily Stokes jammed up there, not doing a lot, not really doing a lot, just flipping. And daily Stokes is turning over as well. Yeah, he's turning over. Oh, sorry guys. Apologies for the yawning. It's turning over again. And let's look at the 2-day. 2-day's got plenty of time to run. I mean, this is how you get larger trends. Your larger time frame, basically just trend, and also oscillators and stochastics will, they will be obviously pointing to the larger time frame trend. But obviously on the smaller time frame, you can still get obviously get pullbacks. I mean, like I said in this morning's video, you get a lot of liquidations in a lot of long liquidations of long positions in bull markets, especially in Bitcoin, because it's so savage. But yeah, not really a lot else to say here, to be honest. We are just waiting. I mean, we're just waiting to digest this move to see whether the bulls want to go for a round 2, but I would think that they're going to need to recuperate a bit. Whether the bears can get us through this 10,500 zone, that's their real test. I mean, I know that's like a $500 away from the price, and you may think normally, obviously, Bitcoin moving down $500 is a big move, which normally it is, but not really in the context of what's going on. We are literally in a $1,000 range now. I mean, this daily candle's range yesterday was obviously huge, and today's daily candle was obviously huge. So we're in. So $500 isn't a lot. So if we get down there, do we hold it or do we come down? But I mean, just looking at this price action, I would really expect just playing out some more of this range, maybe even the downside of this range, and then we'll decide whether we're going to get supported and then just blast our way on for that leg 2, or are we actually going to come down? Well, come down and test 10,000, and then potentially even lower, potentially even at some point this triangle, this at the bottom of the ascending triangle, because we still got how I've drawn it anyway, and you could even argue you could draw it even more like this. We still got room in this triangle, guys. We still got room to fake out, come back in, and then play out the rest of the triangle for sure. That wouldn't look completely beyond reasonableness if we did that. So yeah, I mean, but all in all, really, realistically, you can't. It's hard really to say where price would go. It isn't a strong bias to the downside, because that is my slight bias, but I am obviously aware that we are in a big move. So there's big, massive momentum, larger time frame indicators up. I mean, it's sort of one of those ones where it's as close as you can actually get to just tossing a coin now at the middle of the range. Do we go up or do we go down? It just that's almost what it's a case of now. You can't really read much into it. You just gotta see what happens. But yeah, pennant forming that you can see clearly on the 4-hour. So yeah, potentially look some sort of a move either to the top or the bottom of the range of a breakout of here. I know it's a bull flag, but I would more be looking at the pennant target rather than breaking out of a bull flag and extending to 12,500. But like I said, Bitcoin can surprise you. Bitcoin will surprise you. Bitcoin surprises everybody all the time, because it's just that's just what it does. If we go over to this daily here, you can see we are very close to getting the golden cross on the daily. So that is obviously of significance, a golden cross on the daily. So 21 moving up nicely. Obviously that will then give us the correct moving average posture. It will start to drag up the slope of the 200 up as well, and then honestly it'll just be another factor showing that we are in a very strong upward movement, and the world is our lobster, as Del Boy would say. We can just, I mean, see, this is the sort of recency bias in what people think. People think, oh, Bitcoin won't be at 20k anytime soon. Bitcoin will be at 20k next year or something like that. But once Bitcoin gets going, honestly, Bitcoin gets going, and that's one thing that I'm sure a lot of us know, and like a lot of us has probably forgotten just because it's basically put us to sleep over all this time. But yeah, remember, Bitcoin can make ridiculous moves. I just go to the weekly. I just want to show you some crazy moves. I apologize again for the this is the last real bull run. Look, you've got to really look at this in the perspective of how long it went on for. Well, this is all we're getting up to here. I mean, the whole price is the bull run, isn't it? I mean, where do you really look at it from? Realistically, it's just one big massive uptrend. So this is basically what happens when Bitcoin gets going. Obviously, we've had a bit of a pullback, and now if we continue a trend like this, this is pure just ridiculousness. So don't necessarily expect this to happen. If we expect it to carry on like that, that's a 5,000, nearly a 5,000% move. So looking for basically a 100% move less than to get us. I've got measuring tools. Might as well use them. An 80% move, guys, to get to 20%, to get to 20k, to get to all-time highs. You just got to think about it in the context of what Bitcoin can do. You've got to think about it in the context of this move here, which is 200%. In the context of this move here, which is 300%. What's 80%, guys? What is 80%? It's it's a small number. It's a small number for Bitcoin. So I do feel like I have these very optimistically bullish moon boy mentality conversations with you guys, but it's just based on what I'm seeing in the charts and what we've seen in the charts previously of Bitcoin. I mean, that's what it's all based on, guys. I'm not just making it up. I'm not just oh god, I don't know what to do about this yawning that's doing today. It's like but yeah, anyway, yeah, it is what I see in the charts, guys. It is what is possible from Bitcoin. Bitcoin will do what you don't expect, and it looks like that don't expectingness is going to be to the upside. So there we go. Anyway, there. Apologies for you Ripple fans, but yeah, like I said, just be more realistic about things. There are better things to get involved in. There are things that quite legitimately I expect to have a good chance of going up that sort of distance that you want out of XRP. So I would suggest you kind of just look for those. But I know there's bag holders. I personally know bag holders, and they're smart traders. They've got other coin. They're making other money. They're holding lots of Bitcoin. They're doing well, but they just have these bags of XRP that they're just holding on to. And I mean, if you think about this is the kind of way that I would say you've got to think about XRP, especially because it moved up very quickly, and a lot of people started buying it after it topped. So there are a lot of bag holders at various levels on the way down in XRP, and how obviously the psychology of these people, and I know their psychology because they tell me. I understand just the psychology of bag holding anyway, is that once you get to break even, you get out of that coin. So break even for nobody is $3. Break even for everybody is between, that's still holding, that's basically offside now, is between $3 and where we are now. So that's a lot of bag holders between here and where $3 that literally want to dump that coin. Not to mention the people at Ripple that dump the coin on everybody all the time anyway. So yeah, I mean, just something to be careful about, guys, because I just do this channel to try and teach you guys how to trade, try and make smart decisions, what I'm looking at, what I'm doing. I know it may sound like sometimes I'm a massive moon boy, but I'm just showing you what I'm seeing in the charts. It's the same as what I'm seeing in Ripple. I'm not about to go and try and make people optimistic about something that just basically you shouldn't be making people optimistic about. So that's it, really. That's it, guys. But anyway, so remember, this is not financial advice anyway, and I'm not a financial advisor. You should always do your own research, and I'll speak to you guys in the morning.